The city of Seoul knew K-MELANIN as the man who never smiled. They whispered about him in the glass corridors of Gangnam, in the boardrooms where fortunes shifted with his signature, in the luxury lounges where his name alone could freeze conversations. The Korean business world had given him a title that stuck like frost on winter glass, the Ice King. Half Ghanaian, half Korean, he moved through both worlds belonging fully to neither, building an empire that made him untouchable. But empires have foundations built on secrets. 12 children, 6 sets of twins, born across 7 years to 6 different women whose stories had intersected briefly with his own before life pulled them apart. Some had been loves that burned bright and fast. Others had been moments of connection in a lonely existence. One had been an arranged situation brokered by families seeking advantage. Each woman had left for her own reasons, and each had left him with 2 children who bore his features, his intensity, his quiet hunger for belonging. The Korean tabloids didn't know. His rivals at the Keble headquarters didn't know. The shareholders who trusted him with billions didn't know. He kept his children in a sprawling Hanok-style estate on the outskirts of the city, modernized inside but traditional enough to not draw attention. There were tutors, nannies, a household staff sworn to silence with contracts and loyalty bought through generosity. His 12 reasons for living, hidden behind stone walls and carefully cultivated privacy. Then Amara came back. She had been the first, the one from his university days in Accra before he'd returned to Seoul to claim his inheritance. Mother to his oldest twins, Kofi and Arma, now 13 and sharp as their father. She had disappeared when the Barbies were 6 months old, overwhelmed by motherhood, by his ambition, by the impossible distance between Ghana and Korea. He had searched for 2 years before accepting she didn't want to be found. Now she stood in his office, older but still recognizable, with a lawyer beside her and papers in her hand. She wasn't asking to see the children, she was demanding custody, full custody. Her claim was simple and devastating: he was an unfit father. A man who collected children like trophies, who hid them away like shameful secrets, who couldn't possibly give them the love and stability they deserved. The lawsuit, once filed, would crack his carefully constructed world wide open. Every major news outlet from KBS to CNN Africa would devour the story. The Ice King's secret family, 12 children from 6 women. The speculation, the judgment, the questions about every choice he'd ever made. His lawyers spoke in careful legal language about strategy and precedent. But Quame understood what they couldn't say. This wasn't just about Kofi and Arma. Once the truth emerged, every mother could return. Every custody arrangement could be challenged. His entire family could shatter like glass under pressure. The courthouse became his new battlefield, colder than any boardroom. Each hearing stripped away another layer of privacy. Cameras caught him arriving with the twins, Kofi's protective hand on Arma's shoulder, both children's faces showing the confusion of being suddenly thrust into public scrutiny. The media dissected every detail. How could one man raise 12 children? What kind of mothers walked away? What kind of father let them? They couldn't understand that love looked different when you were building it from broken pieces. That family wasn't always the neat story people wanted it to be. Now everything balanced on the edge of a judge's decision. One verdict could scatter his children to the winds, send them to mothers who had chosen to leave, destroy the only home some of them had ever known. The younger twins, barely 4 years old, didn't even remember their mother. How could he explain that to a court? So the question hung in the air like smoke, impossible to ignore. Would the Ice King of Seoul win this war, or would he lose the children who had taught his frozen heart to beat again?